run great. He has a strong run defender off the edge, but as a pass rusher, I thought a little bit more work. That pass rush specialist that these teams have will have to get the most out of Michael Williams, folks.
He's got the things that you cannot teach, the traits, the height, the arm length, the ability to set the edge and play the run. We know he's technically sound playing at Georgia in the way Kirby Smart coaches defense. The only concern I have is when it comes to using those traits and getting to the passer, I didn't see much of a rush plan, Lou. I didn't see any moves besides the speed to power. He's going to have to continue to develop the moves because when you get to the National Football League level, just the traits won't win. You have to have more than traits. You need to be able to have a pass rush arsenal. How are you going to beat the offensive tackle and get to the quarterback? John Lynch loves him. He loves defensive line. You're going to pair him with Nick Bosa, create two bookends. But is he going to be able to live up to this feeling as far as the pass rush arsenal? I want to see that.
Yeah, they needed to restock the cupboard in San Francisco on defensive line. This used to be, that position used to be the heartbeat of that football team, both lines of scrimmage, in fact, defensive and offensive line. They need to restock that. Michael has not produced on a consistent basis the way you would think his measurables should bear themselves out. Mel mentioned the fact that he was injured. This year, he said himself, he played at maybe 60% most of the year. He's got to tie it all together. Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator now for San Francisco, has to get it out of him.
Michael Williams, the first player ever out of Georgia to be selected by San Francisco in the first round in the Common Draft era. And so the Dallas Cowboys selection is in. An interesting one to make with their new head coach, Brian Schottenheimer. Here comes the commissioner to the stage. The Cowboys at 12, ready to make the selection.
With the 12th pick in the 2025 NFL.
He's trying to do, right? I mean, Tyler Booker, he's someone who, at 6'4" and 321. But I thought when he did get locked on to people, when he did, he could actually absolutely move some people. He'll probably play the right guard. Tyler Smith will play the left guard. And you see him here on some of those combo blocks. When he's able to get his hands inside and get his legs moving, he's going to get some surface removal. He's going to get some people knocked off the ball. I did think, he got a little top heavy, got out over his toes some. If he went up against a good three technique, was able to get on his edge and make him move laterally, he got a little top heavy. But look, that's why offensive line coaches are the most important coaches on a football staff, minus the outside of the head coach. And Dallas is going to have to make sure that they develop this young man, get him consistent with his fundamentals, so they can get it all out of him. And there's more plays like that you see on your screen than not.
So Alabama, by the way, now 17 consecutive years that they have had a player selected in round one. 16 had already been the longest streak for any school in draft history. So our colleague Nick Saban, very proud, no doubt about that, in his retirement doing the telecast tonight for us on ABC. So Bama once again with a first-round player, and the Dallas Cowboys making their selection there at number 12, which leaves the Dolphins on the clock here at number 13. And the Dolphins, an interesting team to consider here as a fight in that AFC East. We should have Molly in a moment here with Tyler Booker and the joy, the unbridled joy that he brought out onto that stage. Just such a joy to watch as you see the emotion of a young man having this opportunity to be drafted by the Cowboys, obviously becoming a household name. Certainly, we talked about plenty on Get Up all morning long. Let's talk to Verizon Business. Takes us down to the stage, and Molly McGrath is with Tyler Booker. Molly.
Tyler, a lot of emotion from your family in the green room. You came out onto this stage with a lot of emotion. What's going through you?
I'm just glad to be a Cowboy. This is really a dream come true. It's truly a blessing. I actually trained in Dallas, so I fell in love with the area. And the whole process, I was like, man, it would be great to be a Cowboy. And the Lord works in mysterious ways. Shout out to God. Trust and believe in God. If you're ever going through something, like just trust in God, He got you.
Those who know you emphasize your leadership and character. What are the Cowboys getting in you?
They're getting the same thing Alabama got. They're going to get a leader, somebody who loves to work, somebody who loves practice, somebody who loves his teammates, somebody who's going to aim to win multiple championships. I can't wait to further this tradition of success in Dallas. I'm so excited.
Congratulations, Tyler.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Greeny.
Booger, you were talking about in our meeting this morning, the emotion of moments like this. To number 2 with the Browns. The 8th pick is in the Carolina Panthers, and here's the commissioner.
With the 8th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Teteroa McMillan, wide receiver, Arizona.
So that one isn't what we expected. Outstanding player. They call him T-Mac. He was born in Hawaii. Went to Arizona as the highest-rated recruit in the history of that school. Mel, his last 2 seasons, he had 174 catches for over 2,700 yards and 18 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had drawn comparisons to Mike Evans over the last couple of weeks. Everybody thought maybe Jacksonville, right, with Liam Cohen would go that direction. They, in fact, moved up to get Travis Hunter. Think about where we are with Tetero McMillan. He's 19 right now on my big board. So he is a reach. I thought Matthew Golden from Texas would be the first receiver taken. But, hey, the ability to make the contested catch is his forte. That's why Drake London was a comp, and certainly Mike Evans. If you want to stretch it to Evans, I would not do that. I think when you look at Tetero McMillan, doing it against college cornerbacks, not being able to get great separation is the reason why I thought his stock dropped a bit. We've all talked about he loves volleyball.
Right. Moment there. By the way, he was a high school teammate of Mason Graham, who was drafted earlier tonight, and our teammate Teddy Bruschi is celebrating as Tetero McMillan is the first Arizona wide receiver ever selected in the first round of the NFL draft. So an interesting move here by a Carolina team. This was the first thing we've seen that had not been forecast.
What else are we missing? What else are you think play this
I would
evening?
say Tetero McMillan, T-Mac as they call him. I think he's going to be one of the more fascinating picks because it's like the whole draft season, everything was about how he wasn't good enough and wasn't kind of what we thought. You know, is he fast enough? Then he runs, and it's like, is that really what we want? And sort of wasn't a great time, and you're like, but I think he's going to go early. I think I would be surprised if he's not receiver 1.
Is that him right
I would
now?
say it is not. I did see him last night, though, actually.
Okay.
It's funny. I got a text from a team wondering if he's going to be there, and I sent back the selfie of me and T-Mac. It was a great moment. Not even
You're like,
kidding.
he may not be there for you, but
I was
he's
like,
here
he's
with
literally
me.
right here, right
Lex.
now.
Jeez.
It was very funny. I'll tell you the team later if they pick him.
So you were at the clutch party last night.
I was at the clutch party.
Okay,
Yes.
very good.
A lot of prospects. A lot of prospects here from Clutch. They were all in very good spirits last night. But I think he goes. I mean, I think he's in play at 5 for the Jaguars. I think he's in play at 12 for the Cowboys. If he's in play at 12 for the Cowboys, then maybe someone comes up over the Cowboys to take him. Like, that's where it gets, I think, really interesting.
What could be the deals that Jerry Jones was teasing about that, before and after the draft?
I didn't get the sense there was much there.
Oh, boy.
I would never doubt Jerry Jones ever.
Right.
I would never doubt Jerry Jones ever, but we'll see. I don't want to rain on his big trade parade.
Okay, but you're saying it's more likely that one of them doesn't happen than
Probably right.
All right. And why isn't Micah signed? I mean, if he says that the term and the dollar has pretty much been guaranteed, like, what is happening? Why is this not happening?
I don't believe that's the case. And for the Cowboys, I would say, usually, like, they like long-term deals. They like to lock their players on long-term. They're very, very smart financially. And with CeeDee Lamb last year, one of the reasons it took so long is because they wanted a longer deal than he wanted. Players want another bite at the apple. And so if you're Micah and you got it, let's just say they offered him a 5-year deal and you're like, well, I'd like a 4. Like, that's a big deal. That's worth just saying, I'm not ready yet. The other thing is, like, Aiden Hutchinson probably comes in. Lions did a Kirby Joseph contract yesterday. Hutchinson's probably next. I think that would be one to.
But why not get it done before Hutchinson? Like, you
want more money.
If you're Micah, you mean?
Yeah, I would wait. He's not playing any football until July, and then we'll see if it's not signed what he does. Like, patience helps.
And the Niners are 11th overall on the clock last night. Brock Purdy is there, right? He's at the off-season workout program,
which is good.
What do we read into this?
Not nothing. Okay. I think they're. I don't want to say that they're close, but they're at least at a close enough point where you say, like, all right, I could see a deal getting done at some point. And so he shows up. When a quarterback holds out, it's like a whole different thing. So it's just easier for all of us when he shows up.
Right.
I think that was the right move, but I do believe a deal will get done.
Closer to Geno or Goff in terms of the number?
Oh, Goff. Yeah, I mean, I think
I told you guys.
I think he'll be a $50 million
mid 50, mid 50.
We'll see if we get to mid 50s, but
not 6. Dak will still be the only one that starts with a 6 by the end of the day.
You never know because you never know what a deal looks like. But I would be surprised.
Okay. I told you guys.
It doesn't matter if you told us.
I did tell you.
It's whether they should do it.
See, we're also now arguing so he could look at his phone.
I want to give him some time.
Is he look? I'm not even looking at him. Is
for
he,
sure.
Obviously.
He's typing now. He's actually typing.
Okay, very good.
He's an information man. You know. Is that anything relevant to tonight, Ian?
No. What do you think? He's ordering lunch?
I don't know.
He might be making dinner reservations. We don't know.
I don't know.
I can't have dinner reservations. I got the draft tonight.
That's true.
Plus, Pelissero makes all my dinner reservations.
Wow.
It's true. No, he does. When we're on the road, no, I'm serious. When we're on the road, no, it's a good thing. When we're on the road,
come on.
He says like,
come on, he's your concierge. Pelissero's got a concierge service with that.
Not
the
concierge. He's our VP of dinner planning and.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to downgrade him without it. You've given him you've given him an executive status.
I go with him. It's not like he makes him for me and then stays home. Like we go out together. But he makes all the